In this video, we are going to learn how to replace the screen assembly on your iPhone 5S. Tools we are going to need are a pentalobe screwdriver, tweezers, a spudger, and a Phillips head screwdriver. First, you're going to want to turn off your device. The first step in replacing the screen is to remove the two bottom screws on the device. For this, you're going to need a pentalobe screwdriver. Be careful not to strip the screws. You're going to want to take your iSesamo or another spudger to get in between the plastic and the metal of the device. Once you do that, slowly lift up in order to remove the glass away from the frame. The next step is going to be removing the cable for the iPhone 5S Touch ID sensor. Take a tweezer to pop off the metal bracket and then the cable will be released. The next step is going to be removing the 4 screws securing the shield against the flex cables for the LCD, digitizer, and front camera assembly, which also includes the proximity sensor. Carefully use your iSesamo or another spudger to remove all 3 flex cables away from the motherboard. The next step is going to be removing the 2 screws securing the plate holding the earpiece speaker in place. To remove the front camera assembly with the proximity sensor, slowly slide your iSesamo or spudger underneath as shown. Next, we're going to remove the home button assembly. Keep note that the 1 screw that we just removed stays attached to the flex cable. Next, we remove the 2 screws securing the metal bracket. Slowly lift up the cable from the right, and after that, push your finger underneath where the home button so you can slowly release the rubber gasket securing it in place. Be careful not to use too much pressure as you don't want to break the gasket. Next, we're going to remove the 4 screws securing the metal frame against the screen assembly. There are 2 on each side. Then we're going to remove the last screw securing the metal frame on the top. Once you remove this screw, you can safely remove the metal plate away from the screen assembly. Once you have your new screen assembly, place the iPhone 5S home button back onto the new display. Securely push it down so it stays in place. Place the metal bracket and secure the 2 screws in order to secure the home button in place. Take the metal frame and place it back onto the screen assembly. Secure the final screw at the bottom. Place the 4 screws back along the edge of the frame and secure them in place. It is important that you don't lose any of these screws and they all get secured back in place. This is basically what snaps into the actual frame of the iPhone 5S to hold the screen assembly flush against the frame. Secure the final screw at the top. Place a plastic camera bracket. This is what aligns the camera against the screen assembly. Place the camera inside. And then secure the proximity sensor to the right down to the frame. It is important that this is flush. Place the earpiece speaker back in its hole and make sure the 2 holes at the top align with the pegs on the frame. Then place the metal bracket securing the earpiece speaker. It is necessary that this is flush also. Secure the 2 screws holding the metal bracket in place. Carefully place the flex cables back on the motherboard by securely pushing them down against the connections. Place the metal bracket back over the flex cables and secure it in place with the 4 screws. Reattach the home button flex cable to its connection on the motherboard. Make sure you slide the screen into the frame at an angle, as you can see. Once you have it in place, securely press against the screen assembly to secure it to the frame. Make sure not to force anything, as you could potentially crack the screen assembly. Make sure the screen assembly sits flush against the frame. The final step is to secure the 2 pentalobe screws at the bottom. Once you secure the 2 pentalobe screws at the bottom, turn on the device and test all the functions to make sure everything is working. One important thing to check is the front camera and the proximity sensor because you have the potential to damage this during the repair.